Franchise Report, reporting live.
Franchise in the building, franchise report in effect as it goes down another mother effing day. Hot in the right here, lovely Leticia here. And today we have the amazing, beautiful Ayana in the building.
Yay! Y'all need to clap.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about yourself and where you are from and what you do.
Okay, so you may be familiar with me. Well, first of all, let me say that I'm from Boston, Massachusetts.
Right.
I'm from Boston. I was born and raised in Boston, but I grew up in Mattapan.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Mattapan. Oh, I need this too.
Yeah.
So I was, I'm from Mattapan, and a couple of people may be familiar with me because, last year, the year before, I was on an episode of BET's American Gangster Trap Queens. And I'm featured on there, season 1, episode 7. And now I have a book out. I have a business journal out. I teach business planning workshops. I teach financial aid classes. I'm out here shaking and moving.
I see.
Yeah.
So what is it that got you on that episode? What happened in life that got you on that episode?
I committed a crime.
Okay.
So what ended up happening
Wait,
is,
as part of the show or in real life?
in real life. So
All right, go ahead.
So the show is not a scripted show. This is real life.
Who says crime don't pay? But go
Yeah,
ahead.
well, it doesn't. It doesn't. Let's be real about it. It doesn't. But the reason how I became a person on the show is because, I committed a crime in Boston. I was a financial aid advisor at school, student accounts manager, student loans, and I abused my power of the access that I had to money, that checks that were coming in. I used those for my own personal gain. I did that 2 times in a 10-year span of time. My first bid I did was it was a state bid, and then my second bid I just did it was a federal bid. So I'm familiar with the system, and now I use all of that information to do good within my community and to in my own life. So this is where we are today.
As you should.
Yeah.
So in one light you was in the spotlight for committing a crime, and now in another light you are in the spotlight for doing right by the community.
Absolutely. Back then when that happened, I was trying to do my thing in the music business as well. I started managing artists, learning about the music business, traveling, creating a network. I've been here to this station before. I want to say that we brought Mano here.
Okay.
I was doing a couple of things, and I was using that money that no one knew what I was doing. It's not like I was out there with it, but I was using that money to be able to afford and to fund, my own business ventures just as well. Yeah. So, that's what it was.
Now that let me ask you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, is acting ever an idea, ever a thought?
No.
So now that you've been on national TV,
Yeah.
would you ever think about it now?
Oh well, I mean, I'm on a movie. I'm in a movie actually right now. There's a movie called, oh gosh, I always get the movie mixed up. Call It Even. So a young man by the name of Diego. He is the producer of the film. It's by I can't remember all the people that it's written by, but he's from Boston just as well. Been around a long time, and the movie is actually in the Roxbury Film Festival. So I will be featured in that movie, Call It Even. Featured in the Roxbury Film Festival on the 25th of this month, so it'll be at Hibernian Hall. So I'm excited about that.
Well, just in case you didn't know, our camera guy over there, he does movies too,
Yeah.
so you know.
I got a movie coming out too. Yeah, absolutely. And I do have a movie coming out based on my life and my book and the things that I've been doing just as well.
Okay.
So be looking out for that in the next few months. At the end of the year, we're looking at starting to film.
Okay. So the book, I just seen that you were in Detroit this past.
I was,
Okay.
yeah. I was at Detroit. Detroit has an urban literacy book fair every year by this woman. She's phenomenal, Michelle Moore. She's an Essence best-selling author, and she does this event in Detroit every year. I went last year, but I didn't have a book.
Okay.
I did still get a vendor space. I had a table. I had my pre-order, flyers. I had my banner and everything. I had my team just going around learning how that business works, And I did that. So this year I went back, of course, had a new banner, had my books, have a planner, and I was out there slanging books.
How long did it take you to write your book?
It took a long time. It was a long process.
Okay.
It was a long process to write the book, and I'll tell you why it was a long process. Because when you think that you're ready to do something, then you start doing it. It's like, oh, maybe I wasn't really ready to do that.
Let me ask you, since you're in the process of a book.
Yeah.
This is gonna sound like an idiot question, but what is the process of writing a book? Do you sit down and just start talking to somebody and they record you? Do you sit down and somebody type in every word you say? Do you actually type the words that go in each? Like, for example, how many pages is your book?
I want to say it's 177.
I can never write 177 pages. So what is the process of actually writing a book?
It gets condensed to that.
How does it work though?
So I'll tell you, I tried it several different ways. So this is good that you asked this question. That's great. So when I first started doing the book, I thought this is something I could do by myself. And so I started I thought I'll go on a timeline. So I'll start off with, okay, when I was born to this age, then to that age.
Are you physically writing? Are you typing?
I'm physically typing, writing notes, transferring it, just whatever. Ooh. I was just winging it. I was winging it, honestly.
I'm a round of applause, but finish the story. I already know you're going to say but. Go ahead.
Yeah, I pretty much winged it. I didn't know what I was really doing. I didn't know how to start. I didn't know how to finish, or, what's supposed to go here and there. I didn't know the composition of writing a book. I didn't. And then I didn't want it to turn into like a hood book. I wanted it to be actually something that made sense and that people could not just like that was a hood story or something that like that. I wanted it to be something that could teach something, that people could be inspired by it, that people could also be motivated by it. And everybody hits dark places in their life, and I wanted it to resonate with people that were in dark places that can see, like, look, there's nothing you could throw at me that I don't know. I've been through everything. So if I could be in a dark place and come out, with some sunshine, then so could you. And that's the whole point I wanted from the book.
So did you type 177
no,
pages of sunshine?
I didn't do
so
that.
How did we do this book?
Somebody else did it.
I'm still on the base. Okay, wait, that's all. Then I've always wondered.
Somebody else do that.
But even at that point, do you sit there and do you talk to them? Like, do you tell them their whole story, or do you give them a general idea and they say, I got it from here?
So this is what happened. So the first time I thought I could do this by myself, that's what I was doing. Writing, typing, doing all that. It drove me nuts. It drove me nuts. Then it was like, okay, I have to have someone to help me. So I reached out to this person. This is what she does. The ghostwriters, just like people use for music, right? So I give her what I had, and then we start communicating by phone. I start recording different pieces.
This is the part I was.
Now it gets transcribed. So now that transcription turns into, okay, here's the transcription of your story. Now make this into a book format.
There you go. Okay,
let's get the chapters in there. Let's get, the dialogue going. Let's edit this out.
So you're still part of the book 100% because you got to communicate with the person.
It's my book, it's my words, it's my story. It's I'm always going to be. I would never give away.
But even during the process of it.
Even during the process
of it.
Absolutely. Okay. Some people will, just do recordings and, let someone go and run and then like, great, thank you for this book. But no, I had to. The person that edited the book is different from the person that completed my cover. The person that completed my cover is, there's a publishing process. There's a whole layout, and I had to, make sure that I connected those dots.
Sounds harder than rap.
It is.
Now,
it is.
Was there?
Ain't no rapper in here laughing either.
No, but it is hard. It is hard.
Was there ever a point? Now you said that you had your dark days. Was there ever a point where you were embarrassed and you were like, you know what, you couldn't face anybody?
Yeah, absolutely. So
and with that, did you like what you did?
Yes. Okay. So let's talk about that. After I was embarrassed when the case happened. One of the things was, I think my grandmother came from the hairdresser, and she was like, "Oh, they in there talking about." They was talking about my granddaughter, and they said that she, I was embarrassed that they were talking about that, and my grandmother got that information. But what happens at the hairdresser? You know what I mean?
Hairdressers, barbers, shops.
So it is what it is, and I was embarrassed that I embarrassed my family. If not everybody was embarrassed, but my grandmother, that matters to people.
And at that point, did you ever think that you'd be able to tell a story now?
No, nothing. No, I'm not the person that wants this out there, right? Okay. So I'm a person who I want to show the white picket fence sweep the dirt under the rug. Nobody be looking up at my house. It's not dirty. You know, that's the type of person that I had been for a long time. I learned that at an early
Sounds
age.
like a nice wish.
I mean,
that ain't
I did.
happening.
I learned it at an early age that you just, you know, in most of our black and brown communities, we learn that you don't walk out of this house telling nobody our business. You don't fight with your brother in front of other people. You know, things like that. You don't do that. You know, you keep family. You know, you keep your dirt under the rug. So I learned that at a very early age that you just always, well, let's call it what it is. You're just always fronting.
Right.
You're just always fronting. Like, you don't show people pain. I mean, men grow up to say, well, men don't cry, don't hit you in your chest, don't be crying. You know, these are just different toxic things and horrible traits that we grow up with.
So where do you go from here? What's your next?
You know, everything is next. You know, everything is next. The sky's the limit. Everything is next. You know, as I grow and, you know, it's not like I wanted to go on TV talking about this mess of my life. You know, it was pretty messy and pretty toxic for me. It's not a story that you're happy to run out and tell.
Right.
I was approached by someone from Boston who actually, and shout out to Shawnee James, Nan. She is one of the producers on the American Gangster Trap Queens series. And so our families know each other. We've, you know, known each other for a long time. And she came to me with, you know, this idea. And it was like, no, crazy. I don't want to. Like, you know, I want to be on the BET for being a big music executive, you know, like not a crook, you know, but that's where, you know, that's the journey that God put me on. So if that's the platform that I'm supposed to use my voice in and the man I'm supposed to use my voice in, then that's what I'm going to do. So I wasn't really open to, oh, this is what I want to do. I didn't want it like that. But I'm using it today for a foundation for better things. And so, you know, that's what it is. Yeah.
Well, thank you for your amazing energy, for one.
Thank you for having me.
Two, I'm going to let you slide for not wearing headphones.
But I just put this hat on. I didn't know.
Definitely going to penalize you for it. You'll hear it in the video.
I'll take it.
Best way to find you?
Best way to find me. So I'm big on social media. I'm always on it. So my Instagram is it's ms.yaanabean. And then that's the same on my Twitter, on Facebook, everywhere that, you know, that I am. And then you can also go to my website, ayanabean.com. So that's AYANABEAN.com. Pretty simple.
Easy enough. Next time you need an idea for a book, hit me up.
I have several. I mean, the thing that you should be thinking about now, and what I say to, you know, different artists, like, there's a lot of platforms out here. How do you continue to be an artist and get funding to do what you need to do? You need to pay for studio time. You need to travel. It costs a lot of money to try to do something positive, and that's why it's always easier for people to go, you know, do some crazy stuff that lands them in jail, because it's easier to do that than to really stick to something and go hard with it and spend your real bread on it and don't expect a quick comeback. So one of the things that you should be doing is think about other avenues. Like, yeah, if you can make a song, then you can make a movie. And you could get a distribution deal to put your movie out there. Like, you see everybody in Detroit doing this today. Like, everybody's on Tubi, right? Well, they're making good money. And what's happening there is that then your songs are now a movie. So now maybe it wasn't getting on radio, but it's on Tubi. It's getting streamed. So here comes your bread. And now, next thing you know, a year from the day you put this movie out, that's your actual video, but your video's a whole movie. Now you already got $1 million. You might not even be interested in music no more. Or the way that
I love the way you brush me off. The next time you do a book, hit me up. Ladies and gentlemen, Ayana build. You just had to out-talk me. Wow.